Industrial action was back in airports across the country today as Qantas staff stepped up their fight against the company's plan to streamline its operations. Qantas surprised the Transport Workers Union by using new tactics and refusing to allow striking workers to even start their shifts. The union's now alleging safety breaches today by Qantas staff who filled in for those who were on strike. The escalating rhetoric could signal the start of a bumpy few months for the airline, as Mary Gearan reports.
I think it's unnecessary. I think it's blackmail, in my opinion.
It's very inconvenient for passengers, but if it works and gives them a just wage, well, I'm happy.
All aboard for more disruption. 6,000 passengers around the country were delayed or grounded by 4 hours of strike action by baggage handlers, caterers and freight staff.
Let's do it and well done.
It is damaging to the Qantas brand, and overall it's a general frustration for the organisation.
The CEO gets a 71% increase in his salary package, takes him up to a mere $5 million. And they would have spent untold company money with strike breakers.
They'll have lost money today, that's for sure. It's the longer term impacts which are really worrying if this continues to go on like this.
The TWU wants a 5% pay rise. It says salaries and conditions are being gradually eroded as jobs are moved into a new Qantas subsidiary company.
It's a low-cost agreement, and of course this is one form of outsourcing or offshoring. Depends on whether you're a licensed aircraft engineer, an international pilot, or a Qantas ground staff. They all sort of amount to the same thing.
In fact, they are paid 12% more than their Virgin counterparts. These are TWU members that work on the baggage area. So we are a good employee. We're very much committed to those ongoing good terms and conditions that we offer, not only to TWU workers, but also to our engineers and pilots.
This could be just the beginning of the turbulence facing Qantas on several fronts. Pilots are in conciliation with the company in Fair Work Australia as part of their push to have Qantas pilots or their equivalent crew Qantas flights. And engineers have scheduled rolling stoppages each week for the rest of the year over Qantas's plan to establish new Asian operations and lose 1,000 jobs in a restructure.
This dispute is not going to last for a few weeks.
How long do you think it will last?
Oh, look, in my view, this dispute will last at least 12 months.
I think it's going to be a pretty rough time for Qantas over even the next few months. So this isn't going to end quickly. They've got a lot of hard talking to do, a lot of hard arguing. We have a very unstable situation at the moment.
Well, we are seeing some sort of coordinated action being taken place by the three unions of the engineers, the pilots and most recently the TWU.
Look, there's absolutely no doubt that our unions are talking to each other. Why wouldn't we? I mean, Qantas have declared war on 35,000 employees.
And as far as you're concerned, is this a war?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Qantas are starting up their companies up in Asia. They're funding it with Australian money at Qantas's expense.
Not only are the unions talking war, late this afternoon the TWU National Secretary raised the temperature even further.
Between 10 o'clock last night and 4 o'clock this morning, Qantas literally sent a number of thugs around to people's homes, banging on doors in the middle of the night, demanding people to come down and receive letters.
Qantas says these were letters they were legally obligated to send and weren't at all threatening. Steve Pavinas from the Australian Licensed Aircraft Engineers Association claims Qantas has a $3 billion fund to fight the unions.
I know about this when I sit there with a Qantas manager and he says, we've got $3 billion to fight you with. We have no doubt they want to destroy Qantas. They've been about that for the last 10 years since they've been setting up these dodgy labour hire firms.
That's a very unusual claim by the union leader. The $3 billion is all the cash reserves for the Qantas Group, and this was listed in our annual report, and we use this available money to fund our fleet going forward. We don't see this as a fight. It's unfortunate that the union leader is using those particular terms. That is very combative language that's being used.
If this is a war, the TWU was briefly outmanoeuvred. The union was stunned when workers were not permitted to start work before the scheduled strike action. Instead, retrained staff from other parts of Qantas took over the roles.
It's quite astounding and totally unnecessary. Our action was strictly limited to a 4-hour stoppage, and to lock people out and turn it into 7 hours and then blame the union for unreasonable activity is just simply making a mockery of it.
These Qantas management staff, including people in IT, office workers and admin, today were put in contingency roles across the Qantas business, and these were very important roles and very important positions to ensure that we could continue operating.
Spies were out looking for safety slip-ups from the pinch hitters.
We've had reports coming in all morning about mistakes that these managers have made out on the tarmacs. They've had some of them are driven in front of aircraft as they're taxiing, and also they've been using their mobile phones on the tarmac whilst the aircraft have been refuelling, which is really dangerous.
Late today, 7:30 received written incident reports of alleged safety breaches this morning. Qantas says any breaches are investigated as a matter of course.
And the unions always bring up this bogeyman of falling safety standards and that sort of thing when they have a dispute with management. I don't believe that occurs.
We're going to win this war, we have to. Qantas will lose an icon if we don't.